And as Netanyahu presses forward with an increased ground offensive inside of the Gaza Strip, reports suggest Trump is frustrated with the war and wants Israel to wrap it up. Joining us now to discuss is former Israeli Ambassador Yoram Ettinger, who served as Congressional Affairs Liaison in the Israeli Embassy in Washington and is a leading expert on U.S.-Israel relations and the Middle East. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my privilege.
So it seems as if the tone did a 180-degree flip after Trump visited these Arab countries last week when it comes to the war in Gaza. What is making Trump so frustrated right now?
Well, I suggest not to assess President Trump's position based on his talk. It's much more important to judge his position in accordance with his walk. And the walk has been very, very positive on U.S.-Israel relations, while Biden withheld essential military systems and ammunition from Israel. President Trump has provided these items. President Trump also did not react negatively when Israel took care of 11 of Hamas top leaders while Trump, was in the midst of his visit to the Persian Gulf. Supposedly, it could have embarrassed him. Supposedly, it could have undermined his visit. But I've no doubt that Trump, inside his hotel suite, probably told his staffers, finally, Israel acting just like Trump would do. At the same time, we cannot ignore the worldview of President Trump, which is not exactly compatible with the Middle East, as he assumes that the Middle East conflict, such as the conflict with the Houthis and with the Ayatollahs and with Hamas, are very similar to business-like negotiation. And while money talks in the West when it comes to business negotiations, it's ideology that walks when it comes to the Middle East, and negotiation that President Trump is eager to conduct with the Ayatollahs are perceived by him to be a step towards reconciliation, but that the Ayatollahs view it as a step which is designed to bolster their capabilities and get ready for another assault on the so-called infidel West, the great American Satan and the infidel Jew. And last and not least, we have seen President Trump being very much impressed with a Syrian leader, with a Qatari leader. And again, we should be very careful not to assume that you can approach the Middle East through Western lenses. The West welcomed Khomeini back in 1978-79, supposedly as a leader who wants human rights for the Iranian people, a leader who is anti-communist and therefore would be very pro-US. And we know that that leader became the #1 epicenter of anti-American war and terrorism. The U.S. also welcomed Bashar Assad in 2000 in a very positive way, because Bashar Assad spent few years in Britain. He's ophthalmologist. He was president of the Syrian Internet Society, married to a very modern Syrian lady, educated in the U.S., spoke few foreign languages, and we know that he became a butcher, a real butcher. Now, Trump may be right about al-Jolani from Syria, but I would suggest that before rushing into suspending economic sanctions and declaring al-Jolani a potentially peaceful leader, I would expect American president to require the president of Syria to uproot all hate education in Syria before he gets those privileges from the U.S. to uproot hate sermons from the mosque, to uproot hate media from the official media, and introduced a United Arab Emirate-like peaceful conduct. Once the Syrian does that, obviously he deserves to be accorded a real generous treatment, but not before that.
We have run out of time, but thank you so much for your perspective today.
Thank you.